your life probably looked something like this. This is you, this is your mom. Your mom told you, Timmy, go to school, get good grades, go to a good college. So you say, all right, mom, I'll do what you say. I want to make you proud. I'll make my mom proud. But then in college, you start to see some warning signs. People start to say that they can't find jobs. But for the most part, I mean, you're confident. So you just keep going forward. And it's looking like it's going to pay off because you got your degree. So now you're ready to start your life with your degree, make the money, have a great life, have a wife and kids. But instead, 1,000 job applications later, you're on your knees, absolutely cooked. Why some boomer is life mogging you, saying pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and you're not even wearing shoes, bro. There's a fundamental truth that you have to understand about this timeline. And that is, if you follow the advice that the older generation gives you, this is what's going to happen. So it's almost not even their fault because they just lived in a totally different world. And the world that they lived in, the pipeline that is shown here, go to college, get a degree, and then you can get a job. It worked for them. But for us, it doesn't work. The thing about that generation, the boomers and even the Gen Xers, is that it's like once you hit a certain age, you lose your ability to think critically or to listen to other people. Maybe it's because they don't want to take advice from younger people. I don't know. But most old person is not going to really give you relevant advice. Like if you ask them, hey, what do I do to make $1,000,000? They'll give you the Dave Ramsey answer. They'll say, oh, you just got to get a good job and start a 401k, work for 60 years, and then when you're 65, you can enjoy it for 5 years and then die. Okay? But nobody wants to do that. And even if we did, that pipeline doesn't exist anymore. So this is why you cannot listen to boomers. You have to disappoint your parents. Your parents are going to tell you, do the pipeline, go to school, get good grades, go to college. And yeah, I think you should go to high school and everything. I'm not arguing against that. But college, honestly, these days is not necessary at all. If you get a degree, you will end up unemployed. The only people that should be going to college is if you can get into like an Ivy League university, if you can get into a top tier university and you plan on being a doctor or a lawyer. Those are really the only two people that should be going to college because those are really the only jobs that you have to have a degree for, and they're the only jobs that there's a market for anyways. So I mean, you just got to disappoint your parents. You can't whenever you start this path, you have to wake up at some point and say, I am on the escalator to failure. And by being on this escalator, I'm making my parents proud. They're saying, wow, look at my son, he's doing what I did. He's getting a degree. He's doing what, they say in the movies, get the degree and get the job. But the thing is, you have to look around and see that everybody else who's going down the escalator with you and those who have reached the bottom are cooked, okay? And if you don't jump off the escalator, you are also going to be cooked. So you just have to look around, wake up, and then decide, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to vibe code an app that makes me a millionaire. I'm going to eat dirt for years and years, make videos that nobody watches, make posts that nobody reads. But eventually, after it's like this. This is what everybody says. You watch people work for years and years, and they're posting. They've done 3 years of work, and all of a sudden, it takes off, right? So this is the pipeline that Gen Z has to follow. We cannot be doing the boomer pipeline of go to school, get a degree, apply for thousands of jobs that don't want you. You have to do your own thing. You have to be willing to disappoint your parents. When I say disappoint your parents, what I mean is do not live your life as a way that your parents can vicariously live through you. So, and all of our parents like to brag, right? If you have a good job, your mom is at work bragging to her coworkers about what great of a job her son has. You know, she has a little bit of clout because her son has a good job. And if her son quits his job right here, then she loses that clout. And you, as the kid, I mean, it kind of sucks knowing that your parents do not have the bragging rights anymore of saying, you know, my son works for this company, my son works for that company. But the thing is, you cannot live life trying to please somebody else. If you see the writing on the wall, get out, do your own thing, get a skill, you know, do crazy iterations on it, and then one day it'll take off, and then your parents will say, wow, son, I believed in you the whole time. I knew you would make it. Wow, you're so smart. Look at my son. So disappoint your parents in the short term, and then in the long term, it'll pay off. And even if it doesn't pay off, at least you can say you lived life on your own terms. You know, you didn't get stuck in a dead-end job, or you didn't get stuck in a 9-to-5. You did your own thing, and even if you fail, at least you can say, I tried it, I gave it my shot, I gave it my all. I failed, but at least I did what I wanted to do. Instead of, if you stuck with a 9-to-5, you know, maybe you got a decent job, so you're comfortable. At the end of your life, you will think, you'll be laying there in your deathbed, thinking to yourself, what would have happened if I would have taken the risk? What would have happened if I would have done what? This is horrible. If I would have done what I wanted to do, if I would have taken the risk, if I would have started the business that I wanted to start, if I would have started the podcast, the whatever, you'll never know. But, you know, don't take my word for it. I quit my job so that way I could start my own company. I just filed my own LLC, and I'm going to start building in public. But I'm unproven, so don't take my word for it. All the proof that you need to be able to decide whether you want to do your own thing or whether you want to just follow the pipeline is look at your coworkers who are in their 50s, 60s. Ask yourself, am I okay with being them 40 years from now, 30 years from now, 20 years from now? If the answer is no, then just quit. Or at least, if you can't quit, then grind like crazy to try to replace your income so that way you can quit and then build your own thing. Okay? So do not live your life in a way to where future you on your deathbed will regret and wonder what would have happened. Do the thing that you want to do now, and even if it doesn't work out, at least you can say you tried it. So, on that note, stay tuned.